Welfare Day for donkeys?
Okay, so the first time we ever had National Donkey Day was in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a day when we're creating a lot of awareness to the donkey owners and to the general public about the importance of donkeys, their contribution to human livelihoods, and the need to improve their welfare. So throughout the years, we've been tackling different welfare issues, and there's been a great improvement over the years. But like this year, our theme is donkeys now and in the future, because we are faced with a threat of donkey slaughter, and they're being slaughtered for their skin and their meat. Skin mainly is going out to Asia, China countries and all those places. But meat is being consumed here. So the thing is, guys are slaughtering donkeys in the bush, and then your fine cuts of meat and minced meat are ending up on your plate, and you think it's beef, but it's probably
It's
a donkey.
actually
Man,
donkey.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Ooh, I didn't even know about the skin actually being exported. But we have a complicated relationship with donkeys, I would say, because so many of us, especially people in rural Kenya, depend on donkeys, for transport again, even sometimes for farming. But then they tend to be treated like very poorly. I don't know what the welfare of how does donkey welfare look like? What does taking care of a donkey well look like, as opposed to just using it as a tool and then it's looking emaciated, beaten, unhealthy, all of that, all the negative things?
Yeah, so like the first thing is what you don't value, you don't take care of. So most of the guys don't see the value of a donkey until they like put in the maths. When you say that this transporting like water will cost this much, and this donkey has done this work, so that you can now compare and see what you're saving or what you're making if you're selling the water.
Yeah.
So for welfare, we look at, we call them 5 domains of animal welfare. So it's basically looking at nutrition, the health of the animal, the mental state of the animal. So when we're looking at good welfare of a donkey, we're looking at what is it eating? Is it getting, donkeys ideally need 70% of their food to be grass, and then you can give them supplements. Then you need to give them clean water. I know most guys, like even for your cows and anything, after you've done your final rinse of your clothes, you share that.
Oh my gosh.
That's the water you're giving
Magia detergent.
Magia stay soft.
Yeah.
That's actually unacceptable. That's horrible.
It is.
That's bad.
Yeah. So clean water, it should be available throughout the day, so the animal decides when it wants to drink the water. Then when we're going to working, how is the working condition? Like, if it has a cart, how is the cart? Is the cart too heavy without a load? Is the cart just appropriate for the donkey? Is it too narrow or too wide? So the donkey is getting its body rubbed against the sides, and then it's getting wounds at the side. How is the harnessing? Is it comfortable for the donkey to pull the cart with, or is it getting wounds? And then when you're riding the donkey, like especially for young guys on the carts, don't whip the donkey. Talk to the donkey. The donkeys really understand. They get used to routine. So when you have, if it knows it's getting water from a water point and going to deliver at a certain restaurant, it will know the routine and it knows the time. So it will, even without you there, you just need to put the vibuyus. It will get to the restaurant and to the water point.
Yeah.
So they get used to routine. So it's just talking to them nicely. They're really friendly animals, because I know we say asante apunda ni mateke, but these animals are so nice. They're
To be
so
fair,
gentle.
sijaona hata mtu akikikiwa na punda. To be fair, cows though, I've been kicked
Yeah.
by a cow, but
Oh.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we like to say asante apunda ni mateke.
Yeah.
Maybe hiyo ni punda ume stress na ume
Yeah,
abuse.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like we usually say, a donkey will give you like 3 warnings before it actually decides to kick you.
Okay.
So it's like those ones of it moves away from you, which is a sign of they're animals of prey. So if it moves away from you, it's like I'm fleeing, the flight and fight. Yeah. So I'm fleeing from you because I don't want what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then if it moves away from you and you're not still getting the hint, it makes some sounds with the nose, and maybe it stamps the feet on the ground so that you can like, hello.
Yeah, like give me
Yeah.
my
You
space.
get the point.
I'm trying to tell you to move
Yes.
back. Leave me alone.
But
you know?
if you decide you're still going to hang around there,
Yeah.
then you see the donkey turning. By the time a donkey has turned to
Yeah.
set its hind legs at you,
Yeah.
that's like your final. Like
Yeah.
it's done.
Answer
Yeah.
wherever you deserve it at that point.
At that point,
It's your fault.
it's your fault.
Yeah, I'm listening to all this, Samantha, and again, thanks for coming into studio and even highlighting this about donkeys. But for laymen or people who are listening in and they're wondering, how are donkeys supposed to be treated? Because for me, there's so much negativity around how people treat donkeys, right? And it almost feels counterculture to see donkeys being treated well. Talk to us about the behavioral aspects. Why is it that people treat donkeys nastily? Like, is there something behind it? Is it an exertion of power or authority? What is it? Because I don't understand it. We see horses treated really, really well. They're called majestic animals. And then on the other hand,
Their cousin.
on the other hand, here, donkeys beaten, whipped, slaughtered. What's behind all that?
So yeah, it's a thing of what you value, because when you look at horses, they're also like a status symbol, and it's like you need to take care of it really well. They're also really expensive. Donkeys are more humble animals. They are more associated with poor people. When we work with youth, because urban youth usually use donkeys, there's that aspect of the more trips I can do, the more money I can get. So you now try to work the donkey faster. So you're beating it so that you can go faster, can go more trips, so you get more money. But when you take care of this donkey and it's healthy, it lives longer, it works better. But if you're first denying it food, it means it'll be tired. That's why now you're releasing all this anger on it, because it's not going as fast as you want it to. But the donkey has said, I'm kind of hungry, I'm tired. You guys, when you were in that restaurant having your tea, me, I was just out here. There's nowhere to eat grass. Like, you just denied me that right to have some food. So it's until we start valuing the donkey for what it contributes, then we won't really see the change that we want to see in the people. There was a study done by Calro that looked at how much the donkeys are contributing to household incomes. So they said a working donkey would bring someone about 11K per month. But that's on an average. That's assuming someone is doing like just water work. But the more trips, like if you go to Kangundo Road where there's a lot of construction, then the donkeys are carrying sand, ballast, and all those things. So they're taking away from the pickups, because pickups are expensive. Donkeys are cheaper, so it's easier to transport with the donkey. So those guys would make a little bit more than what someone else makes. So if you help them understand that a healthy donkey works better than a sick one, then they see that we see change, because we've been working with donkeys and donkey owners for like 10 years, and we've seen a drastic change when you explain to someone the savings they're making from working with this animal, and they now see that I need to also be, once I've earned like 2,000 today, I need to put 500 aside for my donkey so that it can get vet services.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's change, but it's gradual. Behavior changes are gradual.
Yes,
It is. It's
absolutely.
a process. We'll get back into the conversation in a little bit. We'll go back to the music now. But when we come back, we'll find out a little bit more about how we can best treat donkeys and how we can best celebrate and even be a part of our National Donkey Day. For now, though, we're getting back into the music.
Jam down with us.